Hey everyone, D.Ramirez here for Raven Studios, and in this video we're diving into the art of sampling drums to create groovy, house-driven beats that work across minimal, deep tech and classic house styles. I'll show you why sampling is such a powerful, creative tool, how to do it effectively using loops and one-shots from my very own D.Ramirez sample pack, and the benefit it brings to your workflow and groove. We'll cover sourcing loops, sampling punchy kicks, and chopping loops to build unique rolling rhythms. And if you want the full breakdown, head to theravenstudios.com for the complete video and more in-depth tutorials. Let's get into it. Here we are back in Ableton, and you can see here that I've got a template open. This is my template, my starting template, and you can see here that there's quite a few tracks already made. I've got some MIDI parts. I've actually made the kick drum pattern. Look at that. I've got the clap, the hat, and I've got all the tracks in the arrangement, so I can just drop things onto there as we go. I promise that I will show you how I make my template in a future video, but for now we're just going to be starting with that. That's the subject of another video. Okay, so sampling. Why sampling? Why don't we make beats from one-shots? Why don't we just sort of put it all together with singular sounds, okay? And a lot of people sort of ask me that question. And a lot of people tend to think it's cheating if you're using loops as well. Personally, I disagree. And the reason being is because I have tried over the years, and I can do it now, to make a loop out of one-shots. And the problem I find is that all of those one-shot sounds all sound a little bit awkward with each other. They can sound like they're kind of plonked in, and they don't seem to kind of groove. There's a number of factors why that is, and it's because they're all sampled from different sources, taken from different packs, different places, splice, sample packs, etc. You put them together, they don't belong with each other. They seem to there's no cohesion. Now, in a previous video of mine, you can watch called drum reverb, you can sort of negate that to some extent by putting like a room reverb on the whole drum groove on each individual one shot, and that will in some way help bring all the drums together. However, I find that taking sounds and taking them out of loops seems to give me a better result. And the reason being is because I am taking sounds that have already been mastered, they're already punchy, I know they work on a club system, I've played them in a DJ set, I know that they're absolutely rocking, they sound great. Also as well, I like to go straight to the source to get my sounds. Now, in this instance, I'm using my sample pack, but there's nothing to stop you using any source. That can be samples from vinyl, samples from commercially released tracks, loops from anywhere, okay? Now, as long as you know what you're wanting to achieve and you've got a collection of the right samples, as in if you want to make groovy house, you've got a collection of groovy house samples, then you are going to be going straight to the source. And what do I mean by that? Instead of flicking through, like that meme that you see where they're in Vegas doing the dick, 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 looking for the perfect kick drum, which you will never find. You'll never find that elusive kick drum. You can literally be there all day just flicking through. Let's just go straight to the source and get the kick we want in one go. And it saves you so much time. And also you get a better result because you're actually taking sounds that are already gelled together, they're already cohesive, they already work. Now, there is a caveat to that. Now, there's a book called Steal Like an Artist by an author called Austin Kleon, and he talks about the idea of everything's already been done. Nothing is new. What we're doing is simply taking old ideas, bringing them to a new audience. And that's what we're going to be doing here. We're going to be taking something that's already been done, but we're going to be making our own. We're going to augment these loops with our own sounds, with our own samples, and we're going to make what I'd like to call a franken beat. What's a franken beat? It's the Frankenstein monster, isn't it? It's like, it's a bit of something from there. It's an arm from one place, it's a head from another place. It's this and this mashed together to create a unique being that's never existed before. That's what we're doing here. We're creating a unique loop that's never existed, taken from different loops. So we've got that cohesion because it's already there. We've got the fact that we've got the sound choices correct because we've gone straight to the source of the sound that we want. And then we've also got the fact that it all just sort of works better. It's sort of ready to go. And it's a lot quicker to achieve. It's a lot quicker to achieve it. I can literally put a drum loop together very quickly, leaving me then to do the really important stuff, which I find is, you know, the melodics, the hook. The hook is what I want to spend my time on, because that's the bit you'll remember. Now, the drums are super important, so I want to get really good professional drums off the bat, and this is a great way of doing that from the start. So let's get into it. I'm going to start by sampling the kick. Now, again, I've made a kick sampling video, which I highly recommend you watch. Go to my YouTube, and then on there you'll see this kick sampling video. What I've got here is I've got iTunes, Apple Music. I've used it for years, and I've collected loads of tracks that I really like. There's one called Naha here, which I just love the kick drum. Let's take a listen to it. Now, that kick drum, believe it or not, it's quite a unique sound. It's got a very soft sound about it. I love the sort of tail of it. I love the way that that just works. It's really nice. I know it's a great track. I play it a lot, and it's amazing. Let's borrow that kick drum. Okay, so I'm just going to drop it here. I've got the sampling track ready to go. I'm going to borrow the kick drum. I'm going to pop it there like so. Okay, on this sampling track, I'm going to change the filter to the new filter, the Ableton 12 version. Let's go filter, auto filter. Let's pop that there. All right, and we're just going to simply take this bit of the kick here like that. Again, you can watch this in more detail. There are other techniques. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a little fade there like so. I'm going to put my grid onto 1/16. I'm going to cycle before and after slightly like this. And let's take a listen. Let's solo it. Now, there's lots of sounds in there. So how do we get those out? Well, we automate the filter cutoff. Press A, move the filter knob, create a point there like so, create another point there, bring that down to about 130 hertz. So we've kept the decay of the kick, we've kept everything. Now we just want to do that curve there. I want to get rid of that second bongo. It goes boop, boop, like that. So I can do that using a curve. It's the Option or the Alt key. Now I want to leave as much of that in as possible without getting that second sound. Beautiful. Okay, great. Now I'm going to take off warp. And I'm going to use the new feature, which is Command B, which is bounce in place. Boom, there's my new kick, brand new. And I'm now going to drop it onto this kick, pre-made kick track that I've already made, like so. And I'm going to go to C3, which is over here. I'm going to drop that onto C3 like that. Okay, so now I take that out of there, make sure that's not playing. Let's have a listen to what we've got. Now I need to move the part up to C3. Let's do that. Brilliant. In terms of level, I'll just leave it where it is. We're not mixing. That's going to be the subject of another video. Now we can start to add in our loops, and I'm going to be using my sample pack to do so. I'm going to go to Tool and Trademark Series, and let's go to my drum loops. We're going to go straight to the top loops here and just see what kind of loops work with it. Bearing in mind, I'm going groovy house. So let's take a look. I really love that shuffle. So let's bring that over here. I'm going to put that onto shuffle. I've got a shuffle track already made. Look, I'm working in this view here. Okay, brilliant. Awesome. And let's just keep going. Let's see what else we can find out of there. What am I looking for? I'm looking for things that aren't too big, too techy, aren't too like full on. I just want those sort of delicate, kind of groovy house loops. Now that's really nice. Let's put that over there as well. I'm going to put that onto one of the top loops here. Okay, let's keep going. I'm now going to go to the full loops. Now the full loops will be... Okay, I really love that little back snare thing. So look, I'm going to drop this onto my clap track here, and let's deal with that. I just want to get those little snares out of there. Let's play that. Of course, I don't need everything else. So how do we get rid of everything else? Well, we can do it either in the arrangement, or we can use the envelope view here. If I go mixer, clip, like that, I can then press the B to get the draw tool, and I'm just gonna look, I'm going to leave that in. I'm going to take everything else out and just leave those little snares in like that. That's it. That's it. And that's all we need. And then take that one out because that's obviously a hat. Okay, now great. Now that has got a little bit of bass in there. So I'm just going to use Ableton EQ8 here. And I'm going to get rid of that. I'm just going to do a low cut and just get rid of. Okay, great, got rid of that. There's a little click on there as well. So if I go back to the clip there, like so, clip gain, like that, I'll be able to then zoom right in on here and do some sort of fades within the actual envelopes themselves. Like do that, like that. Same there, like that. Just do a little fade on the beginning of that and the fade on the outro. It should, in theory, get rid of the click. Let's do that. Same here. Just pull that back a little bit, look, and then I'm going to get a sort of hopefully get a softer attack on there. Let's maybe pull that forward. Nice. Okay. Great. Now let's start bringing these into the arrangement. So that's going to go on the claps there. Let's pop that there like so. Also the little groovy thing here. On the shuffles, let's bring this down here. Let's do that. Great. And then what else have we got? We've got the top loop here. Now I'm going to start adding different top loops into this because, you know, I might want to try out a few. So this is a great way of doing that. This is like my idea sketchpad section here, like this. Brilliant. So I can then go back to my loop folder here, my D.Ramirez one, and let's just try out some different loops. I'm going to go to the no kick loops this time and just go through these. Let's have a look what we can find. Now, what am I listening for? Now, there might be some sounds that I like. There might be the hat that pops out. I might just want something within it that I can take out, not necessarily the whole thing. Now, I love that. Right, let's do that. Let me show you how I would deal with that. I'm going to drop it onto my perk track here. I love this. Let me just solo it. I'm going to bring it in and mix it in. Great. Now, there's lots of stuff in there that we don't need. So let's bring it into the arrangement this time instead of doing it there. Let's do it within the percussion of the arrangement here. So I'll pop that there. And let's deal with how I would chop this. What do we want out of this? Well, we don't want the kick. So let's get rid of that. So I'm just going to go zoom right in and then sort of chop out the bits we don't want. Maybe we can just go like this, do like that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. It's on every sort of beat. And then the next one would be there like that. Nice. Great. Okay, so let's do some fades on there. Now also as well, I don't really want the hat in it. I just want the sort of loop bit. So let's get the filter out. Now, let's use the filter on this to sort of just filter out all of the top end stuff. Filter. Nice. We could do another filter on there as well to filter out the bottom end. Yeah, we'll go for a high pass. Nice. Okay, great. Now let's keep going. Let's go back to the loops. Let's find some kind of clap. Now I'm going to find a clap that belongs to a loop. Let's go there. Let's go for the no kick loops again and just see. Starting from the top this time. Two. Love that clap. So let's drag this in here and just take out the clap from it. So I'm going to pop that there like that. Okay. Now, there is a good chance that this clap might exist on its own somewhere. It might be within the sample pack. But what if you haven't got the sample pack and all you've got is just the one loop? But you don't want to use the full loop. You just want to get the clap out of it. So, well, let's do that. Let's just get that out. Let's then do a fade. Let's maybe pull it back as well so we can like get rid of that little sound there. Do the fade. Nice. I really like that. There's also a little pre-roll on this clap. You'll see there. Look, can you hear? So, and that's what I like about it. It's got that little sort of bit before hit. Let's do that. Let's copy that over there like that. Let's then bring this in. Awesome. Let's go and get some percussion out of this. In fact, yeah, let's get some percussion. We'll build it up like that. Awesome, love that. Let's drag that in. Percussion, we'll put that onto percussion 2, like so. And then let's expand our loop out a little bit as well. So we've now got 2 bars. Oh, too loud, of course. Let's bring this down. Let's turn this up for it to exaggerate. Again, I want to get rid of the ones on the kick. So take this one off. Do 1, 1, 2. Get rid of that one. 1. Awesome. So what we've got there, we've got that shuffle loop, which is creating the sort of glue of the whole thing. That's kind of shuffling it all together, creating the glue. And then we're able to just sort of like create these little percussion loops within there and add the sounds that we want to within it. So next thing I think we need is probably a stronger hat. So I think we can go to the hat loops, but let's actually go to the no kick loops and just see. Naked's great. Let's drag that onto the main hat. Again, let's presume that you haven't got these samples separately. They are separate in this sample pack if you want them. But I just want to show this technique of being able to chop them out of loops and just show you how we might do it. It's got other stuff with it, but that's the point. The other stuff will bring groove. And can you see there by just bringing that hat in, and it's not a single hat. It's got the ambience of the loop. It's got the reverb of the loop. It's got some snares of the loop. Everything is there that you wouldn't think you would want, but it actually does help to increase the groove of the track. Now, there's always something that you should check as well, is make sure that your groove is very similar. Like we can line up this here. But you see that, look, it's got too much swing. That would need to be dealt with because, look, we need to pull that back like that. We don't want the swing of this. Let's do that. Now that should sound okay. That one is okay. Yep, that'd be fine. Again, because we just want to make sure it lines up with everything else. I've shown this in another video as well, the essence of swing. Now, in this instance, we're not going for swing. We're actually taking swing. Oh. So I'm building up this loop, I'm building up this vibe by just taking shots from other loops. Let's keep going. Let's see if there's anything else we can find in the no kick loops. Again, there's something in there. There's like a little snare that I really like. So let's get that. I'm going to go here, put it down onto a perk track. You'll see that it's this little sound. It's that one. Really like that. It goes. Let's get that out. Let's turn it down. And that one. And that's it. Awesome. Love that. Now, let's do some EQ on that as well. Let's make sure. Let's get rid of those little clicks as well. Bit of mixing, that could be down a bit. Now there's a little sound there. I think we could get rid of that little percussion because it's on the top of that. So let's. Yeah, because we've already got it in that little sound. So let's take that one out as well. Okay, let's make that a 2-bar. Let's add a variation of this. Let's duplicate that over there. This time, dit. Make sure we get those hats there and duplicate that as well. Okay, now that's really crude, but hopefully you get the idea of what I'm doing here. I'm just making a franken beat out of all sorts of different pieces of other beats. The one thing I just want to show you, because I'll be showing you how to do the drum mixing in a separate video, but a little bit of compression can really help here, because what it helps to do is sort of homogenize all of the sounds together as one. So we can use the glue compressor for this, which is modeled on a very good SSL. It's one of the best SSL compression emulations there is. I'm just going to put that here like this, and I'll show you how I might use it. What I'll do is I'll put a sidechain filter on. Now, what I like to do is make the whole thing a bit punchier by opening the attack like so, bringing down the release like this, and then let's bring down the threshold till we start to feel a bit of glue going on. Right, and then bring up the volume to bring, make up gain. And at this point, you might sort of start to feel that some sounds get a bit too loud in the mix. So let's bring these down a smidgen. So a bit more. Now, as I said, this can be done with any loop, with any source from any place. But the whole point is that you're going somewhere, you're going to the source. Like the kick, for instance, I went straight to that track. I love that kick. Rather than trying to find that kick, I just went and sort of took the kick. And I think that's okay. I don't think the owner of that kick, the maker of that kick, will have any problem with it. You know, it's not like I've taken the loop from it. I've just taken the kick out of it. And that wraps up this deep dive into sampling drums for groovy house beats. In a future video, I'll be showing you exactly how I mix these drums to get them sitting perfectly in the track. So make sure you're subscribed and stay tuned for that. If you want to watch the full extended version of this drum sampling tutorial, head over to theravenstudios.com, where I break everything down in way more detail. Now, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.